Hello, and thank you for clicking on my video. Just going to do a walk round on this lovely Fazer I've got for sale. Second walk round video, only because I feel the first one didn't really do it justice. Especially noted by one or two people. When I started it up, it sounded a bit tinny, like there was a rattle in the engine. Definitely not the case in real life. I think it's just the way the sound's being reproduced from my mobile phone. The engine's nice and smooth. Hopefully I'll get a clip of the exhaust close up as well. Hopefully that'll do it more justice. You really need to see it in person to appreciate it. But no, the engine's not clattering or rattling or anything. It's up for sale for a second time. Put it on a 28-day, what do you call it? A 28-day classified on eBay. It hasn't sold yet. I think that's probably being a bit stubborn on the price, to be honest. I'm not desperate to sell it. It's a lovely bike. I love it so much. But I have put a deposit on my new MT10, and I've got to pick that up soon because they're not going to store it forever. So this does need to go. So I have dropped the price a bit. Right, start her up. Apologies for the shakiness of the video. I'm no professional YouTube vlogger by any means. I'm hoping the sound isn't being reproduced to sound too tinny, and there is no rattle from the engine. Which gives an absolutely awesome crackle there on overrun. There's no baffle in there at the moment. I do have the baffle for it. That's it's missing the sticker. It's a Black Widow full system, straight from the headers, downpipes, whatever you want to call them. Don't know what else to say really. It runs, it drives, rides perfectly. It's a really nice bike. Obviously, it's not. There's some minor blemishes about. I can't actually see. I need to pick them out. Some tar stuck from under here from the tyres, but that will come off. It's never been dropped. What have we got? I'll probably take this phone holder, this Rockform phone holder, off, unless the buyer specifically wants me to leave it on. You can pay me to leave that on. They're not cheap. I think they're just under £100 for all the mounting and the phone case. I'll leave the USB power on. It's a bit rusty, that cable. That could easily be replaced, but you can see that's a nice convenient little when the phone goes on that mount, you've got the power there just there, and that's waterproof. So when it's parked up, I cover it up anyway, but when that's parked up, that goes on and these get unplugged, so that's consumable, replaceable. Adjustable levers, ASV levers, they're not cheap Chinese crap. Oxford heated grips. I've got 3 keys for it, including the red one. Mileage is 42,321. It will go up ever so slightly. I'm not commuting on it or anything, but I do take it out to play with it. It's a bike that should be enjoyed. So much has been replaced on it in the last 12 months. It's a bit dirty. I have just had the bike cleaned, but I really need to clean this sprocket and the chain. It's lubed up okay, but it does need a clean. You probably can't see, but that's a Super Sprox Stealth rear sprocket. It's DID, the heaviest duty chain. They reckon you lose half a horsepower or whatever to the rear wheel with a heavier duty chain, but it's got enough horses to begin with. Renthal front sprocket's been changed. It's the RS10 or 11, I think, rear tyres front and back I've had done to it. Still a decent amount of tread on there. It's just been through an MOT. No advisories, other than it actually failed on my rear number plate. That's a private number plate. That's going to come off, and the original will go back on. It's a 2014 reg. And I've got the original plate, and it's legal size, full size, so that will go back on there. So it failed on the plate being too small. And the only other thing, we had an advisory on LED side lights, which I think look really smart. Again, they're proper Cree ones, they're not cheap Chinese ones that are going to start flickering or stop working. One thing I do need to note, this mirror is going to want replacing because there's a bit of play in it, and I've had the fairing off and checked the bolt behind, and that's up nice and tight, so it is actual play within the swing. When it's swung upwards, there's no play at all, solid. As soon as you bring it down, there's a bit of play, and it does vibrate and wobble, and on the motorway it sort of pulls inwards, so you're looking more at your torso than you are at what's behind you, so you have to sort of push it out further than it needs to be. They're not expensive, you can get OEM ones, I think they're about 20-30 quid. I've had I think it's a Pugue, fully blacked out screen. Got Philips, they're halogen headlights, but they're upgrades, I think they're Philips, plus 150%. It's the ABS model. It's got crash bungs and a crash frame, cage, whatever you want to call it. SW Motec frame. I was going to put spotlights on here, like some of the adventure bikes have, but never got round to it. And RNG crash bungs. Little pieces about the bike to match the levers and that. Little gold anodized aluminium bolts here and there. Oil filler cap, the sump plug is the same. I won't be able to see that. It's got a centre stand. It's on its side stand at the moment. I think I'm rambling somewhat. I don't know what to say. It's an ex-police bike. It was used as a surveillance bike up in West Yorkshire Police, I think it was, who had it before me. They're the only other owners of this bike, so I'm the second owner. I mean, we get it down here when you sort of take jaunts down to Brighton or whatever, you see these signs on the side of the road that say police surveillance bikes in operation. I think that's what it is. I don't think it was like a motorway cruiser police bike, because they use GSs for that sort of thing. So I think it was really just to infiltrate the biker community and catch the naughty ones. The top box mounting, that'll go with the bike. I wouldn't mind taking that plate, because that's the more expensive, I think it's aluminium or steel, whatever it is. They do a cheaper plastic one, that's the M9 plate, the Trekker rack. They're interchangeable with the cheaper plastic ones, so if the person who wants to buy this has got the plate, I wouldn't mind taking that off, but I'll let it go with the bike if that's what the buyer wants. As with the bike specific mounting rack, that can come off. That's a 10-15 minute job. If whoever buys it isn't keen on that, I can take that off, not a problem. That's the box I've got on it, and I'll be keeping that. I mean, it looks a bit out of place on this bike. One might say a bit dorky. Probably looks more at home on a GS or an Africa Twin. That's the biggest one they do, so it does look a bit dorky on that bike, but you can fit 2 modular helmets in it, so I find it quite practical. Yeah, it's definitely rambling. Don't know what else to say, really. Changed the oil. I mean, it had a full service, spark plugs, everything, when I bought it back from the dealership I bought it from. It had a full service history from West Yorkshire Police before that, and since the full service, when I bought it, I think it was about 13 months ago. Since then, I've done 2 oil changes myself. I used the, hello, I can't remember what oil brand it was now. Fuchs, the German one, Fuchs. They're top grade, racing spec, ultra synthetic, top of the line stuff. Yeah, I'll get some photos as well. So we're nearly 10 minutes in. If you've made it this far, you probably need to get a life. Oh yeah, the indicators, they are genuine Yamaha parts. Strange. Stop recording for a moment there. I don't know what that was all about. I was saying the indicators, all round LED, they're genuine Yamaha parts. This bike come with incandescent bulbs and indicator bulb holders. These are the genuine Yamaha ones for the MT10. They're LED all round, and they fit perfectly. It's the original fitting, so they're not sort of out on stalks that can sort of wobble, and you know the aftermarket ones do. They're just sort of out on a bolt thread, and they, you know, you can sort of be misaligned and come undone. That's the fitting was the same for the Fazer or the FZ1 as it is on the MT10, so they just fit nicely. They look original. They look like they were made for the bike. Yeah, I mean, there's a write-up on the eBay listing, so if I've missed anything, I'm sure you'll read it. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for looking at my bike, and I'll see you around. Cheers. One thing I forgot to mention is the rear tail cluster. That's an aftermarket part. That's LED all round. In fact, I'll turn it on so you can see. It's from Bike It, so it's not a cheap brand. Oh yeah, I've actually got, what are the indicators, because I'm horrendous for leaving them on. That's just a relay. I've got the original relay. If that's not to your taste, that's easily swapped out. So yeah, I've just got the beeper on the indicators. So I'll the rear tail light, as well as the side lights, the side indicators. There's actually got indicators built in, which alternates with the position light, whatever you want to call it. Number plate lights, LED as well. So yeah, it's nice and bright at night time. So yeah, LEDs all round, apart from the headlights. They're good quality halogens. I think that's about it really.